Um, peace, everybody. Peace. Another amazing guest we have tonight. And since we can go ahead and start, and y'all can see everybody, we're gonna go ahead and start another edition of the Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. While we are here to uplift humanity, and also talk about numerous diverse subjects, to assist to inform people. And this is another interesting conversation because we have an amazing chef here, Chef Margaux, an amazing chef that from the ATL. Um, as you know, Polka Dot Rabbit podcast. I just said, we're here to uplift humanity. But if you haven't already, please go to polkadot.rabbitpodcast.com and check out my book. Um, that's it for me. Go ahead, Chef. Please, could you please introduce yourself? We know who you are, what you do, and all that good stuff. Please.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to Polka Dot Rabbit Podcast. This is my first time out live on any of my social media outlets, so I'm very excited that Zoe has taken me on just to talk with me and discuss the things that interest me and that are culminating in my life and moving forward in this career path that I've chosen and I love so much. So, I mean, just hit me with the questions. What do you want?
Well, before I hit you with the questions, make sure your phone is. Somebody said there's an echo. Make sure your phone is turned as low as it can possibly go.
How about
Don't.
that? Is that better?
Is that better, y'all? Well, I guess we'll have to talk for them to hear. But I don't hear an echo. I don't hear an echo. I did hear one a little bit earlier, but we'll go ahead and for it. So, growing up, where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Saginaw, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about 100 miles outside of Detroit,
Okay.
and I learned how to cook at a very early age. It was
Mm-hmm.
something that was cultivated in my family,
Mm-hmm.
and I've loved it all the time. I mean, it's very easy for me to do because
Mm-hmm.
I am a professional eater.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the type of lifestyle that suits me. I have one job. I must taste everything that I send out the door to
Mm-hmm.
ensure its quality and flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I have a pretty great job.
Okay, so as far as growing up in Michigan, how was it? Because I know a lot of people live in Michigan, and I hear different stories, especially with quote unquote black people living out there. How was it growing up in Michigan? Like dealing with race and race relations, all that kind of stuff, and just life. How was it out there growing up?
So, for me, my family is and still is today very family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 3 generations of General Motors. So, a lot of things stemmed around the manufacturing scene for General Motors. And
Mm-hmm.
I was raised around a lot of cars, a lot of food, a lot of family, a lot of love, and a lot of faith above all things. So,
Mm-hmm.
what I remember about Saginaw was just the love that, you know, I don't remember the negative things, or neither do I carry that type of energy with me because
Mm-hmm.
my family is just something else, and my friends I consider family. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I just, we really vibe off the love of everything.
Okay, somebody said they can't hear you, sis. You're not muted, are you, on your phone?
I was. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good. That's what they out here for. Yeah, because I know some phones if you turn it all the way down to the mute, you just want to turn it low enough so you can't hear it, so the echo won't pick up. So,
Okay.
um, but if since you were on mute, you can repeat that real quick if that's okay. What you were just
Okay.
saying.
So for me, it was a lot of family, love, faith, a lot of cooking, a lot of time spent over the dinner table. You
Mm-hmm.
know how our culture is set up.
Mm-hmm.
Discussions over the dinner table, celebrations over the dinner table. Most things are done over some type of meal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just something that cultivated who I am today. I love cooking. I love eating. And like I stated, my job actually, it it ensures that I'm able to do that because I have one job. I'm required to taste everything I send out to ensure it's quality and flavor. So I just enjoy it. Most of all, it gives you a place of servitude. Everybody eats,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
everybody eats, so it gives you a place of servitude, and you never know the conversations or the people you may be graced with their presence because of food. So
Mhm.
I really love that part about it. Um, and it's just been a evolving thing. I talked about having a birthday just a couple of months back and being able to do something that I really love and not something that just provides an income,
Mhm.
but being passionate and compassionate about what I'm doing all the time and thinking of how I'm serving others in this process.
So give me the story from, you know, family, family, friends you go through high school, college, whatever the case may be, and you're finally like even the corporate world, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, I want to do what I love. What was the aha moment? How did that picture? How did that, how did that look like in your life?
Well, it was like, what I can say is, so let's put it this way. I was as young as 7 years old when I learned how to make biscuits. I spent a lot of time with my grandfather, right? And he had a really close friend, which happened to be the pastor of our church at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And they played pool all the time. That was their thing. It was like you heard about the Bible. We ate peach cobbler. And they played pool, and that's when I learned how to make coffee and biscuits and other desserts like that. And
Mm-hmm.
that was highly influenced and reared by my mother and my aunts. Everybody in my family cooks. There's not one person that cannot. And I mean that even right now, down to my 18-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
My 18-year-old can walk into the shop and run the shop, as well as
Mm.
my two older boys. They could do it today. They could go in and cook whatever it is I was doing, or have enough fortitude to be able to ask me, what about this? Something's missing. Tell me what's happening. And they're able to do it. So I'm very grateful about that for them because they're pretty sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
And let me not say that without saying that we really love the Lord. So it makes it that much easier to serve others with food. And however that helps someone else, we just see that. So I would say in high school, I was destined to be this fashion designer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my goal was to get to the Art Institute of Atlanta. I had earned a scholarship, but I was a teenage mom.
Mm-hmm.
So my last year of high school, I had a newborn, and I don't know how I was going to manage the scholarship and a newborn, so I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of years later, I ended up moving to Atlanta, thinking I would come down here and work, and also be able to pursue that dream of
Mm-hmm.
fashion designing, right, and merchandising. And I got here, and life is life. I started to think more about how I would provide for my son, and I didn't think that it allowed for me to pursue what I wanted to do at that time. I had to do what
Mm-hmm.
I needed to do, and I did. And because I already knew how to cook and manage my home based on the training that I had received from my family, I was fine. I was
Mm-hmm.
able to go to work, and I was content with that because I knew I was providing,
Mm-hmm.
the best that I could for my sons at that time.
So it sounds like you were already for the field you're in now. You were already getting training from the rip, right off the jump, to do pretty much like what you love to do now, right?
Yes, it is. It's true like that, and so fast forward all the way to 2019. So I'm
Okay.
graduating from Kennesaw State with my executive MBA,
Mm-hmm.
and we're doing our final project. And I pitched this as my final project. I'm gonna change the world. We're gonna, we're gonna destroy obesity today, right? And why wouldn't we? You remember Michelle Obama was all over that.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? What would a good woman do? If you could cook, you would make it different, and you do something that really counts and helps others. So I pitched that. We started working on it some, and we had a team, so it didn't quite go the way that I had envisioned it, and I backed out of it. And we did another project, which was great. We had a great time doing it, but I still diligently worked on this because before we even got to the pitch, I had already been doing case studies. I literally was selling food in my corporate environment.
Mhm.
So I pushed that for a while, and then I got turned on to a manufacturing group in which they bought third shift meals. So I was going to a ghost kitchen, like a rental place, cooking, and then serving the third shift people, coming home, getting into bed 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and having to be back up at least by 6 to fight Atlanta traffic for a 9 o'clock start time, right?
Mhm.
And I found myself in the evenings, you usually get pretty sluggish about 3 o'clock. There's a downturn in just your regular cycle of life. And that's when people start snacking and drinking coffee, trying to catch their second
Mhm.
win. And I
Mhm.
would be elated that I had to get to the kitchen to cook for the third shift people. I'd be like, man, I got to hurry up and get out of here. And they're like, you want to go? I don't know. They might have an after work mixer, or just a group of people who wanted to get out to a nice restaurant and just hang out together. And I started having that no on my chest, like, no, I got something to do. No, no. And because I was so excited to get back to the kitchen. It was crazy,
Mhm.
right? And it went on for a while, and I talked with God about it, and I just prayed, and I talked with my husband about it. I was like, I don't know if I can continue to do my job.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm not in love with it. I don't
Mhm.
even like it.
Mhm.
So lo and behold, shortly after graduation, I would say within 6 months, they offered a package, and I took it. Let me tell you, it was crazy, right? So I knew the package was coming, and you know how you a short timer or you get senioritis, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
man, I got 36 days. That was the longest 36 days in life, right? And I
Mhm.
was like, just I was going, but I was not there. You understand? I did my due diligence to do as much of my work as I possibly could, but I was just not there anymore. And
Mhm.
so my tenure ended February 28th of 2020, right? And and so I'm set off to just do this full time, right?
Mhm.
What happened March 15 of 2020?
2020. That was the COVID, right?
Yep, total shutdown for the state.
Mhm.
I went out
Mhm.
there 2 weeks, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh my God, I heard my daddy wrong. I didn't pray this thing in right," but I had, and he
Mhm.
has been faithful, and he has provided, and my husband and my family have been my number one supporters. So I went into a fetal thought process, but I wouldn't allow myself to be in that position, and I went on to go to the Mind podcast stations in my area and said, "Hey,
Mm.
listen, you guys are open. You have local workers coming in, or the essential workers,
Essential
and
workers. Yeah.
let's steer them away from the big box, gas stations. Let's offer them biscuits. Let's get some food in here." And we started running biscuits between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy. I still have several biscuit warmers in my storages today.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we did that piece, and everything went on to the place where it was not fluent anymore. It was not a place that um, was necessary. Like the breakfast wasn't necessary. It rolled over into dinners where people could have heat and eat meals right out there. So we had biscuit warmers and the slim, merchandising refrigerators.
Mhm.
And then it ended up being, you'll never believe what ended up being our number one seller:
Hmm.
caramel cake.
Oh
People
wow.
people wanted cake with their coffee, and probably half of the locations that we had, the biscuits fell off, but the
Mm.
cake was strong, and I would get calls like, "You
Mm.
are out of cake."
Mhm.
So we did that for some time, and we rode the wave and educated ourselves as much as we could on how to be contactless delivery people,
Mm.
and encourage people to continue to be mentally fit as well as nutritionally fit during that
Mhm.
time. And we
Mhm.
practice what we preach. So my family
Mm.
lost well over 200 pounds between the three of us.
Good gracious.
So it was a very exciting time. And we just like to share that with people. Yeah.
Hmm. So, yeah, interesting because like when I like go online, whenever I look at you and what you're representing, it's just healthy, healthy, healthy. You know what I mean? Healthy. Was there like a coming from the quote unquote the well, the normal diet that most quote unquote African Americans use, with the heavy soul food and all that kind of stuff that's not really nutritious. How did you see the value in nutrition, as opposed to just, you
Well, we
know,
actually love that. We have been working out for a long time. Like I
mhm,
mentioned early on, I was actually fixing meals for some of my colleagues, right, in the
mhm,
corporate environment. And the thing about it was, I started out with a lot of salads, but what it
mm,
evolved to was like my salads weren't just salads. It wasn't just lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers.
mhm,
It was like lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, butternut squash, roasted
mm,
chicken, roasted zucchini, and it started taking on its own flavor.
mm,
But
mhm,
never did the thought of soul food leave my mind. So let me tell you this: we do have
mhm,
soul food Sundays, or what we call
okay,
grandma's goodness. We really go the whole 9 yards. On Sundays, we eat like we at
mhm,
grandma's house, right?
mhm,
We
mhm,
we have at least three sides, a couple of desserts, and some chicken. That's the balance for your
yeah,
sanity and
I
consistency.
agree.
You have to have that. Now, here's funny. All the times that you've seen me, I've been in a working environment where I'm actually providing food for an event, right?
Mhm, mhm,
So they don't ask me to walk in there with 90% healthy meals. Let's do your
mm,
thing with healthy meals.
yep,
No, it's usually 90% comfort meals or networking, heavy hors d'oeuvres,
mhm,
something very unique,
mhm,
something that people would enjoy that they wouldn't normally see, like our um, pineapple jerk wings. That's something that's not always out there, but it is something that we do. Now, on the
mhm,
flip side of that, we try to have an answer to everything from a healthy standpoint and from a comfort classics. So we will offer a zucchini lasagna, but
mhm,
we still offer a traditional 80-pound lasagna with sausage, Italian sausage, and
mhm,
ground beef and pepperonis, even, all the max. But at the end of the day, we really know how to eat. And what we did was we began to learn how to manage our eating, right? You
mhm,
manage everything else. You manage your finances. You
mhm,
manage the way you dress and what that
mhm,
represents with your personality. And then you probably put in some type of exercise, right?
mhm,
But we forget about the nutrition, and it provides a large percentage of your results. And
mhm,
I'm living proof today. I've walked that line. My family's done it. We've had clients that come in and do the same thing,
mhm,
and it's important. But it is important that you have a absolute balance to that for the long haul, right? You want to be able
mhm,
to do this consistently. You don't want to feel like, oh, I need to do this for 90 days. I'm just absolutely not going to eat bread. I'm absolutely won't be having carbs. I absolutely don't make any absolutes. We know that when you say you
mhm,
never, you will.
mhm, yeah,
So the reality of it is, why spark the natural rebel in you when you can
mhm.
actually set a pace and win. That's
No,
that's
I
all
agree.
we're doing. We're just setting a pace and win, and we're not giving you items that you won't love. We offer a beef Philly panini that is much like a beef Philly sub.
Yeah,
Why not?
I agree with you 100% because I'm not a full-on vegan, even though I have been, or vegetarian, even though I have been as well. But I'm from Maryland, right? And I love crabs. I love seafood. Now, do I eat it every day? Nah. You know what I'm saying? But if I want to get down, I get down. You know what I'm saying? So I agree 100% that it is about balance. I'm with you on that. But here's another question. What, 'cause, could you kind of actually, first off, kind of tell me the idea that made you, because I see that you got a whole workout thing going on as well. Could you kind of talk about how that came about and what exactly it is?
Okay, of course. So my now 18-year-old, right? Kids are not very kind in middle school. and oftentimes even more so in high school. So I have my 18-year-old who's dealing with male pattern baldness and alopecia, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's an eighth grader. He's been a big guy since birth. He was almost a 10 pounder.
Mm.
So um he's catching this rhetoric, and I might get in trouble for telling this story, but I want to be as transparent and as clear as possible. He's just catching hell at school because kids happen to give that very well, right? Just crucial moments where he's being teased about his size, about his hair, and so on and so forth, right? And pretty confident kid, and I'm not used to him having a problem with what anybody else thinks. So we had already been, had gym memberships and things like that. We started doing CrossFit. We had personal trainers, and we would see some progress because we committed to this 90-day or 6-month piece. And then we would see that progress not happening anymore. It would come to a stalemate. It's not functioning. But you know what it was? We were eating so well, nice and clean, Monday through
Mm.
Friday. But Friday night, chances are we were at the bowling alley having French fries.
Yeah.
We're going
Pizza.
bowling, we're having
Soda.
fries, we're having pizza, and we swore we earned it, right? We got hot wings coming Saturday.
Mm.
Sunday
Sound like
after
my wish list.
we eating. We eating. I already told you what happens. We're eating complete with dessert, smorgasbord
Mm-hmm.
style
Mm-hmm.
on Sundays, right? And then back to Monday, we have a very rigid routine. But
Ah.
the weekend was killing the weekdays.
Yeah.
We putting in all this work and we're giving it away
Ah.
for
Yeah.
free over the
Mm-hmm.
next 3 days. That's why
Mm-hmm.
when I talk about us having a relaxed meal or having grandma's goodness or our soul food Sundays, that's something that we pick one day that we want to do it on.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And most of the time it's not the whole day for us. You may
Mm-hmm.
have something that you enjoy in a very small moderation for breakfast, like every blue moon we may have red velvet waffles, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And then tone it back. We may have red velvet waffles with turkey bacon. We
Yeah.
may we may not have bacon. We just may have egg bites with that or veggie egg bites.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a way of managing it and knowing what you can manage.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't overnight. I can
Yeah.
promise you it wasn't overnight because remember, my now 18-year-old is off at a HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking when he was in the eighth grade that we started doing this, and we have been doing it before that, but with no results. We had a home gym, we went out, CrossFit came out, everybody was just whipping their bodies into shape. We wanted some of that, and we were getting it. He was getting it, much quicker than I was because of his age and
Mm-hmm.
dynamic. But we ate that thing up every
Mm-hmm.
weekend before it came to be a place where we had to manage our nutrition
Mm.
and get real serious about it. And there
Mm-hmm.
came a time, even during the pandemic, where when we started this, the weight loss journey, I told my husband that I wanted to have a gastric bypass surgery. I was like, oh, a couple people I know have done it. They look amazing, so on and
Mm-hmm.
so forth. I don't care about the side effects. Get me out to Tijuana. Let's do it. And he encouraged me. He was like, wait, you're writing these menus, you're doing this, you're saying that you have this business in place, you're going to do this. And how can you just give up like that? Why don't we together, all of us, we're going to try this one last time. We're going to put in 6 earnest months of work, right?
Mm.
And we had a personal trainer, we had a continued workout, and we stuck to the nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
I remember probably about 45 days in, maybe 6 weeks. And I was down quite a bit. I had to be down maybe 20, somewhere between 20 and 25 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I woke and we were getting ready to go to bed. And I was like, I just can't go to bed. And he was like, well, what's wrong? I was like, I'm hungry. I can't take no more. It had been that type of battle where once you have it in your heart, it'll be in your mind. And like many other goals that we set in life, it can, it will, and it has to be done.
Mm-hmm.
When we hit that time frame for the pandemic, so many people became deceased
Yeah.
because of their weight due to high
Mhm.
blood pressure, diabetes,
Mhm.
things like that. And it just became more and more relevant to us. Now, while we had already started our journey,
Mhm.
we witnessed so many deaths so close to us
Mhm.
because of an underlying illness.
Mhm.
I mean, we have family members who were receiving care and nobody knows. Maybe the caregiver brought in the COVID, but that person was not well enough to manage getting
To fight
past
it.
the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, it just didn't work out, and it was like we were already working on our progress for that. And the original plan, anyways, was I was supposed to change obesity in America, right? If
Mhm.
you're in a dream, dream bigger than the Empire State Building. I mean, start calling it out. It's bigger than the galaxy, and set out to do that. And you'll do
Mhm.
many things. You'll change many things. So charity starts at home. The love that I have for my family
Mhm.
made us stick together. And they
Mhm.
were like, we don't want to see you do that surgery. We've seen people that did it. It's
Mhm.
not all that it looks. And
Mhm.
that's okay. For many people, it worked out well. There's one young lady that I go to the gym with currently. And let me be transparent. I haven't been consistent in the last month. I know. When my son went to college, I had something that was going on with me emotionally. I'm a
Mhm.
mommy. And
Mhm.
there's one young lady. Well, actually, there's about four young ladies I know that have um, had the surgery, and they look amazing. They had a goal. They stuck to it, or they're still in process of it.
Mhm.
And I talk to them frequently, and they are some of our customers, and I love them, but it wasn't for me. So I
Mhm.
said that to say that it's not for everybody,
Mhm.
but everybody can determine what their goal is and get there.
Mhm.
You can. You just can't. You
Yeah.
can't tell me you can't if you want it, because we do
Mhm.
what we want to do.
Exactly. It trips me out how all the time we do so many things that are bad and detrimental to us, but we fight trying to do the things that are good. You know what I mean? Or so easy to have bad habits, but it's like the hardest thing in the world to get good habits to help you better. You know what I mean? But that's the whole. But
And the
it
thing
is
for
it
us
is ass backwards though.
backwards. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the thing for us though is we don't try to like body slam you into, oh, you got to eat these meals for 6 days a week, and then you're gonna go to the Sunday meal. We have phases that you can go through. You can go from, say, oh, you let's say that you love lasagna, right?
Mhm.
Now we're going to take you from regular pasta lasagna. And if you're able to switch to a wheat pasta, we're going to switch you to a wheat pasta. And we're going to graduate you to a zucchini pasta. And then if you
Mm.
start saying, oh, I don't even want to, I'm not sure that I want to eat meat all the time. Okay, well, now let's start looking at a vegetable pasta, a total
Mm.
vegetable lasagna. And you just
Mm.
go in stair steps and
That's
you
what I
take your
like.
time and you get there. And that changes the game for everybody, because
Mhm.
I did not ask you to walk out here and become a supermodel by
Yeah.
eating limited meals and hating it. You want
Yeah.
to enjoy your food. The energy that you have is what you'll live off of. So
Mhm.
you want to be able to enjoy that piece.
Mhm.
It's it's okay. It's okay. It's your life. You decide where you want to be and what you want to do and enjoy getting there.
Mhm. I
That's
agree.
just the way it
Did
is.
you did you have any like motivation as far as any type of individuals you saw that were in the nutrition field that kind of assisted you and kind of
Hey, so funny. Not necessarily the nutrition field, but
Mhm.
I take that back. I will say that there are several people that I even follow today on YouTube, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And but that wasn't my starting place. I sincerely in my heart knew in the beginning that I needed to help push my son somewhere and motivate him. So
Mhm.
Mama Bear is here and she's going to do what it takes, right? And I
Mhm.
think even today, that is something that I lack when I tell you that I haven't been in the gym consistently in the last 3 weeks, maybe a month. I've
Mhm.
been, but I haven't had the same type of drive about it.
Mhm.
Um, he has been very much a workout partner for me when we
Mm.
started and we pushed each other.
Got you.
I kid you not, I lift differently when he's at the gym. So
Mhm.
we are members at a hybrid gym right now in our local city, and I lift differently when I'm at the gym with him. It's
Mhm.
crazy. Seriously.
Yeah,
I do.
I can see that.
And and even and if my husband's there, both of the guys are there, it's
Mhm.
worse.
You trying to get it in? Yeah, I
It's
know.
even worse. It is,
Mhm.
and we have this mental competition that's going on. It's not. It's a what you do, what you do.
Mhm.
How many reps you get in because it's a time piece, and I
Yeah.
love going there. It's our local gym right here in town. It's Hugh Fitness, and they're
Oh yeah.
friends
Whatever.
of my family. This particular location is top of the line, and they're friends of my family. And it's so funny because I got a text this morning that said we got a new playlist. What are you doing? And then like last month they sent me a thing that said missing person. And listen, it was no joke. They sent me a message that said missing person, right? And I
Mhm.
was like, what? There was like brown eyes, brown hair. And I was like, what? And at the time, that Amber Alert on your phone, it was
Uh-huh.
going off saying that it was an Amber Alert. So the
Mhm.
Amber Alert goes off. I get this text. And I'm like, man, y'all too much. But I do appreciate the connection and the sincerity of them reaching out
Mhm.
and trying to push you back where you should be. Um, it's one of those things, right? You want to have a community and a family in all that you do, and that's what we offer, right?
Mhm.
We get food fanatics. We want to help you. We want to be on the journey with you. If that's your thing, if your journey is to learn how to eat nutritiously and still have the flavors that soul food offer, we're here. We're here to
Mhm.
show you how to do that. We're here to do it for you. We're here to walk hand in hand with you. If you want to weigh in, if you want to say, I want somebody to be, accountable to. Okay, I'm here. I've been up
Mhm.
that road. I'm still on that road.
Mhm.
Sometimes we just have to be able to pause to determine the next steps to get where we're going.
So is it like you kind of sit with the individual, say, this is what I want, and you be like, okay, this is what you want, this is what we got, and then is it like a process that you go like could you kind of describe like the process of if I came to you and said, you know, I love my chitlins, but I know they're not good for me, and I want to eat healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like what's the process between the people that eating all crazy, you know what I'm saying, down to eating, healthy? And
It's like,
how do you take, you know what I'm saying? What's the process?
so first, let me say this. So even after I earned my executive MBA, I went back to Kennesaw to get food, health, and nutrition. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, respect your craft. Put in the work to find out what's going to work for you or what's going to get you where's your vehicle? And that's my vehicle. I needed to know more. Not,
Mm-hmm.
book is great. Book, text, information, certifications, all that is great. But I have been through the experience. So now I wanted to back it up with the educational piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
did that. Now, moving forward, if you are a person that's eating really left side of the track and
Mm-hmm.
you're not sure of how to gather yourself, we're going to take it one step at a time. How do you
Mm-hmm.
eat an elephant? One bite at a
One
time.
bite at a time. Yep.
Let's talk about it. I want you to start out eating mean, lean, and clean 2 times, 5 days a week. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
want you to start.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody won't do it. They'll be like, well, I'm going to do 3 days because I work in the office 3 days now, and then I'm home 2 days, and I'm not ready for 5 days. Okay, that's fine. Let's do it. Let's just get started.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's how you conquer things, right? You just start.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not do a whole bunch of fuss about it, but I spend the first 15 to 20 minutes asking you about food allergies, like,
Mm-hmm.
dislike. What are you eating today?
Mm-hmm.
What's our goal? What's our number today? Where are we going? Where do you see yourself in 6 months? What type of time frame are you putting on this change? Do you want to learn how to cook it yourself? Are you going to be the person that says, well, I like my Brussels sprouts this way, so I want to make my vegetables, but I want to sign up for the do it yourself meal plan?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a DIY meal plan where we either fix all your vegetables or we fix all of your meats. it's just really up to you on how we can be of service.
Mm. So
But
it's
I
like
want to
person
hear,
by person.
yes, it's
Mm.
more of a custom. That's our separation, and the
Mhm.
uniqueness that we bring to the table is we offer a customized meal plan based on our standard menu. Okay, so we want to offer some really nice favorites. The beef Philly panini is a low carb wheat wrap. We have a crustless chicken pizza.
Mhm.
We have a crustless vegetarian supreme pizza.
Mhm.
We have personal quiche that are crustless. We have our mini egg bites that you can have all vegetable or all meat. And then we have, the calorie count, the macros, that type of thing. We want to talk to you about that. We don't put every single one of those things on our website because everybody situation is different. You don't have to, everybody's not counting macros,
Mhm.
everybody's not counting calories. And then some people are counting calories and saying, if you saying I can have a 500-calorie meal, I could just have this slice of your butter caramel cake because that's 450 and I can drink some milk behind it and all to be good, right? No, because
Mhm.
that's empty 500 calories. And we get into
Yeah.
the educational piece of it. One of the things that I enjoy most about this is being able to spend times with the Boys and Girls Club, the Girl Scouts, Cub
Mhm.
whomever that's about a fourth grade age level and older to talk about nutrition, allow them to come into the shop and make meals and do different things like that to show them, okay, so you love spaghetti or you love ramen noodles. Have you ever had butter squash noodles? Have you ever had spaghetti squash noodles? Have you ever had zucchini petals for your noodles? We want to offer them alternatives to just live better than we ever have.
Mhm. So, and I'm visualizing that now. Like I said, I said I want my I can't get rid of my chitlin casserole, and now you can help me get to a vegan casserole, vegan chitlin casserole. I see
Right.
the whole thing right now. The nutrition aspect, okay. I'm sorry, the health aspect. You got me eating right now. I got off that all that crazy pig and all that salt stuff. I'm doing better. You can see it in me. Now, what's the next step? You know what I'm saying? As far as get me to do some push-ups.
You tell me. Do you like the way you look? Are
Hmm.
you happy with where you are? Because this is all about you.
Yeah.
You're healthy from the inside out.
Mhm.
You don't have to be bodybuilder tone to be healthy.
Mhm.
There are plenty of people who go to the gym today that you would not imagine how healthy they are. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the old adage, you are what you eat, is a very true statement. What else can you be?
Yeah.
You
It's
can't
true.
be
Yeah.
what I eat. You're not intaking what I'm intaking necessarily in this situation. So you really are what you eat, and we can't get away from that. So
Hmm.
it'll be your decision to decide if you're going to
Mhm.
continue down the salt and the sugar path,
Mhm.
or if you're going to ease off the pedal on that. Who
Mhm.
knows? You may soon not be eating it at all.
Mhm. Yeah.
Not
You know.
not by shaker, not by salt
Yeah. Yeah.
shaker,
Yeah. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
by pouring it from a sugar shaker. You just think, well, we have to offer one of our food categories is called next level nutrition. We
Mhm.
don't add salt or sugar to it. If you're getting salt or salt taste, it is because we have marinated it and we've probably added some citrus to it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But all foods have salt in them. Tomatoes have salt in them.
Mhm.
Onions, that's why we lean towards those things. So
Yeah.
there's a way to do it without causing yourself harm, but actually seeing yourself do good.
It's interesting you said that because it's like when you. I always remember when I was a kid, right? I was going to summer camp, and I remember getting a mellow yellow and a Twix, right,
Wow.
and
Yes.
eating them. I had to be about 8 years old. And still to the day, I remember that feeling I had. I didn't know what the hell it was until later on. It was just, a sugar rush. But it's interesting because, like, you get addicted to it, obviously, because they said sugar is, very addictive.
It
But
is.
once you get to a certain point of you not liking it, your body can almost you can feel how toxic it is, once you intake it. You know what I'm saying? Especially now where you're doing it consistent. And that, for me, that was such an amazing thing because you always hear that stuff about sugar. You're like, oh yeah, whatever the case may be, But once you really start cleaning your system out and really see how these toxic things make you feel, it's very motivating not to go back there. You know what I'm saying? So, or whatever the case may be.
Yes,
You know
I
what I'm
agree
saying?
with that. And then you
Hmm.
think about um, when you clean your palate of certain things and you go back and taste it and you go, man, this used to be everything. This Twix and this Mountain Dew used to be everything when I was a kid. Now, if I drink that, I'm about to pass out or
Hmm.
I feel lightheaded. And you think about those things. It's just not all that it's put into me. So, from that connotation, I think we have to think about what what the driver really is, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Are we emotional eaters?
Hmm.
Are we eating to fill a void? Are we eating because it reminds of us of times when we were ecstatic about life? As kids, I think about that. Um, we used to go to Sunday school and buy. We used to have $1 after Sunday school. Buy 100 pieces of penny candy, right?
Hmm.
And I
All
would
right.
have been ate 75 of them before church get out that
Oh
day.
yeah.
And I'm saving 25 to take to school tomorrow to show everybody that I got candy and
Hmm.
pass it out, so on and so forth. But if I think about that today, I ate about 25 letters in less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then
Thick
some
sugar.
Chico stick nuggets.
Hmm.
That was crazy. And then some Mary Janes. I don't even want to look up the sugar content on that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You just think
Yeah.
about that. And I laugh thinking about my oldest child coming to me probably about 8 years ago saying, "Ma,
Mm.
you know what? Because when the boys were coming up, I didn't give them sugars and candies. They were so excited to go visit with my mom in Michigan for the summer because they were grandma. So everything goes cake, pies, candy, ice
Mm.
cream. And that was he had to pay for his first cavity.
Mm.
Yeah, at about 27, 28. And he was like, Mom, I can't believe I had to pay somebody to fix my teeth right. And they were
Hmm.
all together. He's like, now I understand why. It was an aha moment for him. Now I understand why you were
Hmm.
so dogmatic about that. I was like, yeah, you
Hmm.
don't need to be getting people's teeth fixed. You just need to leave them as good as you got them today.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I thought about that because I ate so much candy. Like you ate it for food,
Yeah.
especially in the summertime when you just wanted to rip and run on your bike or be with your
Hmm.
friends or whatever, play softball, whatever you had going on that was enticing to you. You weren't really thinking about food like that. So that
Hmm.
pushes me back to the what I said earlier about emotional eating. Because you had something that covered those time frames, oftentimes you didn't want to eat the Twix, the Snicker, the bag of potato chips, the pickle, the Fago for me, the red Fago, right? Or the pink
Hmm.
Fago, whatever. I mean, if you look at these drinks today, they're like 57 grams of sugar.
Hmm.
That's sick.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, and you think about that, and I even think about like I had a family member that was really a lover of orange soda.
Hmm.
And when you go back and look at the sugar on orange soda, I think it was more sugar in that than it is in the regular Coca-Cola.
Good
And
gracious.
we would go to the store and lovingly think we was buying him an orange soda.
Hmm.
Ain't that crazy?
Hmm.
We were lovingly bringing him an orange soda and helping him slowly create diabetes and
Yeah.
other health matters for him.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you just think about those things and how we want the
It's
best for ourselves and our kids, and you put that at the forefront of your mind. And I'm telling you, you could do this.
it's interesting because you was like earlier you were talking about COVID and that time frame, and like people. I read something that was saying that like alcoholism went up like ridiculous amount, like, and people sit in the house. Obviously most of them because the gyms are closed, they can't go out. So everything we're talking about now, these people are piling on themselves. You know what I mean? Unhealthy, and then like you said earlier. you got these things coming in that, and they're aiding to get these underlying conditions because of the whole situation. And now people are just falling out because of this situation scenario in which they were almost like forced into without a real way out of it unless they already had something set up. It's like setting them up for failure.
The thing about it is, and that's when we just have to be stronger than we really are, or really lean on what we believe in. For me,
Mhm.
it's God. Have faith and know that He can get you through all things. So my thought process around that time was, here's the craziest part for me, right?
Mhm.
During the COVID period, we went total soldier mode, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
We started getting our water levels where we're supposed to have them.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
here's the thing, I don't have any ailments.
Mhm.
I was slap overweight.
Yeah.
Just slap overweight, and thank God I don't have any high blood pressure, diabetes, will not be having any high blood pressure, diabetes, or other elements that come along with obesity or the choices that we have been trained for so many years to love. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
To me, many of those things were great escapes. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Why do I know how to cook all these decadent desserts that's just crazy over the top stuff? Great escapes.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's so easy to go and come up with something. Have you seen some of the stuff that be on Instagram?
Mhm. Oh yeah. It's
Have you
heavenly.
seen it? You see the people pour Skittles through their coffee maker and make a
Yeah. Yeah.
drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Skittles,
Well,
whole packs.
I'm.
And then you think about all the things that we see, or somebody got a hack to make a chocolate cake in a microwave and then
Mhm.
pour caramel over it and then cut up some Snickers. I mean, it's a great
But
escape.
but like okay. But even in doing stuff like that, the great desserts and stuff like that, isn't there still like healthy ways to do these desserts? You know what I mean? As opposed to just throwing all sugar and all this kind of,
I
you know.
think that there are healthier ways to do
Mhm.
desserts now.
Mhm.
Now, we do have a skinny banana pudding, right?
Is that what I had that day, that night?
No, you ain't had no
Oh,
skinny banana pudding
oh.
that day. You
I
probably
don't.
had
I had I
coconut
had
cream
banana pudding. I
pie.
had two of them. One that had like the Oreo cream cookie in the bottom, and then I did have a banana pudding. I remember I tried two of those, and I almost jumped through the window when I ate those. They were so good.
That chocolate
But
mousse and then the
yeah,
creamiest
that's
banana
it.
pudding in the
Hmm.
world.
Oh Lord
Yeah,
have
well,
mercy.
see,
No,
we make
let's
it
not
over
talk about
here.
it. We
The
wrecking my
creamiest
nerves.
banana pudding, we make it over here, but we offer a skinny banana pudding because of one of our clients asked. One of our clients asked us to make a skinny banana pudding. She was like, "How can you
Hmm.
come up with that?" I mean, yes, it is a good dessert, but it doesn't hit the taste buds the same way that a regular banana pudding does because you know what? It's loaded with
Hmm.
sugars.
Yeah.
But I'm not telling you that you absolutely cannot eat sugars because you have
Hmm.
to live and enjoy eating, right? Yep, this
Hmm.
is what
Hmm.
Robert is saying. That's true. You do
Hmm.
have to live and
Yeah, I agree
enjoy
with that.
life. You're not living and enjoying eating so
Yeah.
much. You should enjoy what you eat,
Hmm.
but you're living and enjoying life, right?
Hmm.
And what supersedes having
Hmm.
some type of decadent high end
Hmm.
dessert every night or having it once a week or every once in
Yeah.
a while, special occasions in moderation with
Hmm.
thought around my health means everything to me because I want to
Yeah.
be here for
Yeah.
as long as I can.
You know, and it's real interesting you say that because like for me, for example, what I like to do is I like to make smoothies, right? And I don't care coffee, what whatever other things that make me feel good. You know what I'm saying? Caffeine. The fake feel good, but I always learn because I learned. I guess I read before the book the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but like How to Eat to Live, and then I got introduced to Dr. Africa and then Dr. Sabi,
Right.
and all of those people, and actually Tahuti Mad Ra, he helped me because I had arthritis on my hip. I was playing baseball, and I had arthritis in my hip. And that's when I realized that, I had to cut down on the meat and start taking herbs and, start juicing all the good stuff. But I came to the realization that, the food is good, but it's just really the nutritional aspect of things. Like if I make a smoothie, it's all vegetables. I drink it. It's not gonna take the best thing, but you know what? I'm gonna feel good as hell, and I know it's good for me. You know what
Right.
I mean? Same thing with fruit smoothies, whatever the case may be. So I've had to I had to change my mindset into, like you're saying, perfect example. What you're saying, when you're ready to get throw down, you know what I'm saying, or even alter your throw down to something even more healthy. That's your time to shine. But in the meantime, put nutrition in your body. You know what I mean? Took me a while to get there, but thankfully, I'm there now.
Right. It's true. It's true. It's true. And you want to put, you want to put premium products. This is your body.
Mhm. Mhm.
Nobody else has to walk, live this, anything like that. So you're telling me
Mhm.
that once you start paying attention to your nutrition and managing how you ate it, the arthritis in your hip subsided?
Mhm.
You got to be kidding me. It works like
Mm.
that.
Yeah,
So you
sure
are
did.
what you eat. You ate the good
Yep.
stuff and it helped your body naturally heal some because we naturally heal ourselves. I know
Yep.
that because I'm not a person that takes medications and things like that on a frequent.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, okay, so if I have a headache, I'm gonna start with water. I'm gonna check my
Mhm.
hydration and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Then I want to look or think about what have I eaten that's pushing me to feel this way.
Hmm.
Those type of things. And then I want to think about, am I managing something in my life that I need to get my hands off of because it's not my responsibility to fix?
Hmm.
So we get back to everything is connected spiritually, mentally,
Yeah.
and physically.
Mhm.
So if you're not thinking about you, then what are you
Mhm.
thinking about?
Yeah. That's true. You know what I'm saying? And people like to say how, they care about themselves, but how do you truly care about yourself if you're not giving yourself the best
Oh,
option to be opt- optimal living, you know?
I'll give you an example of what I saw.
Mhm.
Okay, so growing up, everybody had those guys on the street that was hustling
Mhm.
harder than anybody had ever seen, right?
Mhm.
Trying to make $1 out of 99 cents. And they would have some of the best cars with the best paint jobs and all the trimmings, the rims, the tires, everything, the lights, right?
Mhm.
Open their door, seat toe up.
Mhm.
Nobody thought to do the interior. You know what I'm talking about? Them cars would be
Yeah.
lit up, but you would never see them at a show. You would see them riding, cruising the strip,
Mhm.
or bending the block. But the reality of it was, you'd never see them cars in show because they didn't even think about doing the inside.
Mhm.
Well, what we're talking about today is doing your inside. We're making
Mhm.
you healthy from the inside out.
Mhm.
It's not a task; it's life,
Yeah.
and it's worth living. So, just thinking about it in that manner. Um, I don't ever tell people what they cannot eat. I just
Mhm.
ask, if you're telling me that you want to lose 20 to 40 pounds and you're ordering grandma's goodness and you say, make sure to put extra butter on my honey cornbread.
Mhm.
I want to know, are we still talking about doing the goal that you told me about? Or has
Mhm.
something
Yeah.
changed? So I am in the journey with you. If you're telling me that we're pausing, we're pausing.
Mhm.
But I just want to understand because I committed to be in the journey with you.
Mhm.
This company is committed to be in the journey with you. Whether
Mhm.
we're making your grilled chicken every week, or we're making all your vegetables,
Mhm.
or we're talking to you about the gym we attend and
Mhm.
coming and joining us over there to check it out.
Mhm.
Trying to put together a circle of friends that meet at the same time at the gym to support one another, to motivate one another. Whatever it is that we're doing that's adding to your journey, we just got to be informed because I don't know
Mhm.
if you're not telling me, but your actions say a lot. So that's why I come back asking questions.
I was I've been recently just talking to people about it is so amazing seeing people like you have the vision and going out and executing it to help people because a lot of people recently in my podcast have been healers, be it Reiki, be it in some way or another healing. Because we in our community, we've been torn up so long in so many ways, that we need healing. And what you're doing right now is so key because it's taking two of the most important things, nutrition and health, and that can change so many people's lives. So I gotta say, I applaud you, kudos to you, and what your company's doing, and it makes me so happy to see good sisters like you out there, not only doing it, but not talking the talk, but walking the walk. You know what I'm saying? Or running the run. That is what you be doing literally, as I can see.
Well, I
So,
love it. I really do.
mhm,
And I appreciate you so much for taking the
mhm,
time just to talk with me tonight about
mhm.
the thing that I'm most passionate about. And it's just, it's just, it's just what we do. And it's just something that we enjoy doing. And um, I don't know. I guess I hadn't thought that this would be, uh, when I was told that I would be a great servant, I never knew that this is by any means what it would be. But at this time, my servitude is applied through food.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah, I can see that from somebody outside looking in. Food is a part of it. Also, the care and compassion, and you know what I'm saying, that you take in the time that you put in each individual. I mean, because you imagine, and I'm sure you get, I can, and I've seen them on the website, but some of the testimonies that people have, you know what I'm saying, that didn't even think they could, get away from the chitlin casseroles, and now they eating salads. You know what I'm saying? 3 or 4 days a week. Just something that simple, something that simple can change people's lives, and that's for you to be able to do that consistently. You're a godsend for like a lot of people, and it's great.
thank you so much. That is so
Mhm.
kind of you to say. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Sometimes you need to hear something from somebody else that says that you're really making a difference and for others. And what are you doing if you're not making a difference, right?
Mhm.
What
Exactly.
are you doing if you're not serving others? Now, I'm not saying that you have to go outside your home to serve others. I'm just saying that everyone has a service that they can provide because we all have different gifts. And if
Mhm.
we didn't, then we wouldn't even need each other.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's the glue that draws us together, the servitude that we're able to offer one another.
Yeah, I think what you're doing now is just it's so on point time wise, just because of like we talked about the COVID thing, but also just go like you said, even what Michelle Obama is saying, and what you're saying about just getting out of this mindset and this lifestyle of just eating wrong and becoming obese and bringing awareness to it. You know what I mean? And there's so many crazy stuff that unfortunately we do in our community. Like we want to get a whole check and go um, buy a pair, two pair of Jordans. You know what I'm saying? All this money we waste in so many of these crazy areas, and it's never looked, upon anything internally as something simple as eating right. You know what I mean? So this is a good example of the right way to do things. You know?
Yeah, and that's not the first administration that has talked about the obesity epidemic that we have right here.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
the United States is one of the fattest countries.
Mhm.
Um, somewhere between 6.5 out of 10 adults are overweight right now.
Yeah.
And then 33% of kids all the time.
Mhm.
And that number is growing. And that's old information that I may recall from 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is 22. So that information is 3 years ago old to
Yeah.
me, but probably older than that from the source that I got it from. It's just, we have to do things differently. We want to be around to enjoy our families. We have to do things differently. We just,
Mhm.
I mean, and do you have to go out tomorrow and do Dr. Sabi's his whole lineup of
Mhm.
items that we can't eat, cannot eat the
Mhm.
guava, the
Mhm.
organic vegetables? No, you don't.
Mhm.
Take a step in the right direction. If
Mhm.
you're drinking a Coke every day or two or three Diet Cokes,
Mhm.
how about we don't drink any Diet Cokes or carbonated drinks tomorrow.
Mhm.
How about we set out one thing and
One
let's just drink
thing.
water for the month of October?
Yeah. Mhm.
Let's just drink water and
Mhm.
see how that pans out.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Boy, oh boy. So for the folks out here, like that are in Atlanta, because that's that's where she is. Um, what's the best way they can contact you? What's the easiest way, to get a hold of you for like events and stuff like that? What's the best way they can contact
Actually, the easiest way to reach me is just shoot a text. You
you?
can
Mhm.
text or call our office line at 770-285. You know how you can circle all around 285 and not find anything better than what I'm cooking? 770-285-3600. That is the best way to reach us. You can call because you get real time response, and then for what you're doing, it's always customized to what you're doing. Now, if you go to our website, which is www.gofofa.com, that's Good Food Fanatics abbreviated, GOFOFA.com, you will find most of our healthy meal selections and some of our family meals. Our holiday menu will be coming up. Events that we have going on, for Sunday, October the 30th, we have free cupcakes for kids in costumes. We'll be doing
Mm.
some fun things in the parking lot for kids. We'll be giving out cupcakes. If you need a safe and fun space for the kids, that's not the school night. I know they're celebrating the holiday the next day, but that Sunday afternoon we'll be doing some things in the parking lot. We'll be raffling off some free family dinners. We'll be giving away some family dinners as well. And one last thing, please go to the Best of Cobb, right? Google it, Best of
Mhm.
Cobb, and it'll take you
Mhm.
to the link. They're voting on the top caterers in the area. And we happen to be in the running, but we
Mhm.
need more votes. You can vote every single day from now until October the 27th. So,
Okay.
Best of Cobb, okay?
Okay. All right. Well, it was definitely an honor and a pleasure, speaking about this tonight. I learned a lot, and yeah, I'm gonna go sleep happy tonight, just knowing that there's an individual and your team out there, taking responsibility and making people's lives better. So, like I said, I can't say much more great things about you. So, besides that, we're gonna be out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna have to stay when next time I come to the A. If you anywhere around, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to get some more of that daggone. What'd you say? It was a moose. The moose.
Oh,
What
the
was it
peanut
called?
butter chocolate mousse dunk.
That's it.
It's real serious. But listen, you don't have to be in Atlanta
Man.
anyways. You know you're always welcome to come out and have a good meal with us at any time. Just
Mhm.
give me a heads up, let me know you coming, and
Mhm.
I'll let you know where I'll be next. I did a car show this past Sunday.
Okay.
I'm trying to think where now it's football season, y'all. Don't play. I'm at the HBCU football games every Saturday that I can be. Okay,
Yeah.
Central State. Okay, all the way.
Go ahead.
The Marauders. Woo! That would be like the Marauders would be like pirates. So
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
my mind, their mascot says "Arr, arr, arr." So Central State all the way. That's where I'm at every Saturday. But outside of that, you're able to text me or call me anytime. Leave me a voicemail or a text message, and I will be returning your call promptly. Please keep in mind that I do take a day off on Tuesdays. So, whatever you got coming up that involves food, events, you want to do meal plans, you want to talk about nutrition and how to get your health where you want it to be using nutrition. You need a gym referral. We're connected with several gyms, but I've already told you where I attend. So, all of those things considered, we're just here to serve and to serve really great food.
Couldn't have said it better. not even with a what I say a chitlin casserole in my mouth. I couldn't have said
I
it better.
don't even know what you're doing with this chitlin casserole. You're killing me.
I always thought about just some of the worst foods that I could possibly imagine, and that was one of them. So
And it's so funny because you think about casserole and you'd be like, okay, what's holding it together? Is it
yeah,
like
exactly. That's
beef
exactly that's
or
you know.
rice
Well,
or
you know,
mayonnaise or something?
when you get older, it's interesting because my grandparents were from South Carolina, but they migrated to Baltimore, Maryland. I just still remember like going into that kitchen sometimes, just smelling that smell. You know what I'm saying?
Chitlin.
That smell. You know what I'm saying? Good gracious. I'm happy I don't partake in those anymore. But
I was gonna say you sound totally against it, and I'm not understanding why. If you like them, you can tell us.
no, I like the vegan. Like I said, I like the vegan version. The vegan.
Oh,
I
okay.
I can do the vegan chitlins, not the real ones. I'm done with those.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know vegan chitlins exist.
Well, I don't think they do, but that again, that's my mind bringing another dish into the
I'm like,
into
oh,
the
wow.
world.
I'm trying to think of what even has the texture to
Oh,
create
see,
the
I might
mindset.
be onto something. Wait a minute,
Like, could you
I need to
slice the
copyright that.
eggplant thin enough to make? I don't know. What
Listen, see
even
now,
has?
listen. I got the expert thinking now. See, y'all heard it first here. Vegan chitlins.
Oh my God,
Thank
that
you.
is too funny.
That's from your bros. Vegan chitlins. That's where they came here. And well, actually, I'll give you a credit too because you
You are
actually
too fun. I
you
mean, I've had a
you're
great
doing the
time.
blueprint.
You're
You're
so
making a blueprint.
crazy. And I've appreciated you so much. I'm gonna leave you with one thing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We are good food fanatics, and
Hmm.
everybody is a fan of good food.
That's true.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. God
Hmm.
bless
Hmm.
and good night.
Peace and love, Polka Dot Rabbit Podcast. If you haven't, go buy the Polka Dot Rabbit Podcast. Check out my book, and we got a nice event down at Sadiq's Bistro on October 1st. Big event. Check out the website. They got the Eventbrite flyers there, and also Sadiq's Bistro. And follow, like, share this information, YouTube, and that's it for me. You know what I'm saying? We got another show tomorrow night. And that's it. And besides that, all y'all, peace and love, prosperity, and all that good stuff. Be good.
Good night.